My first experience of Tamasha was seeing East is East on stage in Bristol at the Old Vic Theatre when I was there at drama school. I remember thinking I'd seen nothing like this before.
It was about a mixed-race Asian family in the 70s in Salford, opening at the Birmingham Rep and going through provincial theatres. It was going to be good. It was going to be a theatre tour. It went off the roof.
And I remember getting all my friends together and we went to see it at the Royal Court and I took my parents.
It was a dream come true. It was my first proper job, you know, and I was in the West End. I
didn't know that within a couple of years I'd be working with Christine in the play actually at Oldham, but before that doing 14 songs for Tamasha.
I think Tamasha are driven by two artistic directors that have a vision.
Tamasha is the result of a very long partnership between myself and co-artistic director Sudha Butcher.
And it evolved from a personal friendship and wanting artistic opportunities that we felt were missing into this company, 21 years old, which produces plays from the Asian diaspora and does untold stories that other people aren't doing.
You know, I think sort of 10, 15, 20 years down the track, you are always looking at the wider context and the bigger picture. And I think companies like us do then hold a responsibility.
Tamasha in the last 21 years has evolved. And I think what it stands for today is an artistic theatre company who not only produce work that tours nationally and commission new work, but it stands for something greater. I think it stands for the belief in emerging artists.
The amount of training they're doing, I think, is for all theatre artists from Asian backgrounds is immense.
Well, Propeller, in a sense, has come from our Tamasha Developing Artists, whereby we had two flagship courses. One is called Design Direct and one was New Writing. So we were training directors, designers and writers. And Propeller has come at a time when all three have combined together.
I applied to do the Propeller project, getting information through their Tamasha Developing Artists program, which they give out a lot of emails and newsletters about upcoming opportunities. The Propeller was one of these. Well,
there are 4 writers involved and therefore 4 plays. Ishidin has done a play called Snookered. Then we have Blood by Imtiaz Hussain, and this is her second play for Tamasha. The third play is a play called Lotus Beauty by Satinder Chauhan. And the final play is a play called Zindabad, which is by Awais Muhammad.
So the 4 weeks for us, basically this first week is where we're working in this very much workshop style environment, and then being able to take that into the next stage of Propeller, which would be with our actors who are cast with the specific text in the rehearsal room, working with the designers and looking to realise as much of a performance as we possibly can within that 2-week rehearsal period, with the shows being put on at the gate alternate nights.
I didn't really start this thinking I want to achieve this, this and this and this, but it's already given me so much more than I could have ever have hoped for.
The reason Tamasha is so important for British Asian theatre practitioners is that they are so involved in bringing people in.
You know, they've actually given me my first job, and I think Asian actors and actresses, particularly actresses in the industry, are still very much at the bottom of the ladder climbing up. So I think what they're doing and what they have been doing over these past 20 years has been critical in kind of making sure that there's a space for us.
Tamasha is very important, simple as that. I have to go back to my case in point. If it wasn't for Tamasha, I know I would not be sitting here today talking to you about this, that's for sure.
Asian actors, writers and directors are becoming much more mainstream.
They offer that inspiration to another generation of artists.
When we started, when I did it, there wasn't necessarily, we didn't have any trailblazers.
Tamasha has been a big part of that kind of movement.
I think the important thing for me is that I think Tamasha, the legacy of Tamasha will always be relevant to my own practice.
You know, we've been very ambitious, I think, for the company, but also for the sector. Because I think the older we've got, we've understood and seen and recognised much more clearly what is happening and what is not happening. And I think in that moment of seeing what still is not happening, it does sort of propel you forward to really do something and to try and, you know, before we move on from the company, because we are in our 21st year, it's very important for us, I think, to leave some very strong legacy that could endure.